I don't even know if you guys could have seen me that quickly, but good morning, everybody. Hope you and your family are well. I know the holidays is among us, so people are going to be busy doing what they do and preparing for those who celebrate, those who don't celebrate. I understand that too. It's a lot going on. Anyway, I wanted to talk about the letter of intent. I've seen throughout the homeschool group, some people had questions, and I think the value of doing this is there so that people can feel comfortable and confident, and you can literally just copy what I have, but you should also look to see what your state is actually asking for too. But I'm going over a generic one, and I have created a course for parents to learn about homeschooling, all of the things. And I mean, it's a very deep, intricate 8 module course. However, it's thorough, right? The educator in me can't help but be thorough with all of the details, just to make sure everyone is clear. But just to go over this really quickly, um, your letter of intent, I don't know if you guys can see it, if I can zoom in a little better. It's basically going to state your name, home address, city, state, all that stuff. Then you need to get the name of your school district and superintendent, their address, so forth. In this little template here, you're going to put, Dear so and so, I'm writing to formally notify the name of the school district of my intent to homeschool my children in accordance with the state homeschooling laws. You list your children's names, their date of birth, and then you can add in here, I plan to begin homeschooling on blank date for the blank blank school year. My instruction will take place at the above home address or at locations of my choosing that support my child's learning. So, people who are doing co-op spaces, the library, whatever it is, that's on you. But I would definitely just keep it to your home address, because more than likely you're going to be at home most of the time. But if you are using something else, just you can note that too, right? I agree to follow all state homeschooling requirements, including submission of any required documentation, assessments, or progress reports as outlined by state law. If you have any questions, please contact me at the phone number or email listed above. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Sincerely, parent, signature, and your printed name, of course. The other part, though, because like I said, New York is different, right? I'm in New York, and we have other stuff to do. And so if you're in New York, you're going to put your letter of intent first. Then once they receive it, the school district is supposed to respond to you with a written notice and then ask for your IHIP, which is basically your child's homeschool plan, right? And so this part here is optional. It's an add-on section where you basically summarize the things you're going to teach for the year in ELA, math, science, social studies. Physical education is a requirement from all of the grades, right? All of the grades. Health is also in there, but particular have other little demands. And so again, this is going to vary by state. So please make sure you do your due diligence and always research in the state. I wanted to do every state, but that's a lot of work, girl. And y'all know I got 2 little ones. However, if I have some of the information already, which some states I do, because I build content for learning, which is why I have an interest in learning other states, right? So on the Reading for Smiles website, which you can get in the description, I have on-demand courses and stuff. And so I have like 300 other courses, you guys, to put in. And it's just me at this point. But I will be gradually growing that base. And so I was always looking at what are the mandated courses state by state that children must have in order for parents to be in compliance. So there's that. Anyway, You have to put that estimated instruction schedule. And also, if you're in New York, you're keeping a track of how long you are spending time on the particular content areas, right? So there's certain hours that are required, and you want to make sure you stay in compliance, just because, who needs an extra headache? And while I know some people are like, sometimes they're not even checking, that is also true. However, I'm going to say you cover yourself, right? You cover yourself and you make sure you have the information so that if asked, if ever needed, you got it and it's done and you don't have to think about it. Another thing I actually just was saying to a parent in a group, while New York is rigorous with their demands, is also when it comes to trying to get your child in a college, right? If your child decides they want to go to college and stuff, and that's the route that they're taking, you want that information to as proof that the child did all of this coursework in these areas, just so that there's no funny business. Each college and university has their own rules of what they're willing to accept and look at. But again, until your child reaches that point, I would keep all of the documentation, and make sure that it is comprehensible to what they're looking for, and where you can explain what was taught, learned, etc., and for how long, to help with the admission process. So that's just my 2 cents on the matter. Also, I will say, if you are in New York State, please just do yourself the due diligence. There's a lot of information here. I stay on this page just in case they be trying to change something up. But you can go to NYSED and find out all the things you need to know about home instruction. Obviously, if you are also in New York City, for us, back and forth, right? I got both little areas. New York City always has its own set of rules, so please get familiar with what New York City is looking for, but it's usually always in alignment to what the state is looking for. I just want to put that out there, because some people will be like, oh, I live in Brooklyn, how does this work? Or I live in Albany, so how does that look? And sometimes it's not the same. We may all be in the same state, but the different districts and the locale. Remember, New York City has its own Department of Education still currently. I know they want to bring it back into the umbrella of New York State, but until that happens, follow the rules for your location. And that's really it, because I wasn't going to go too deep, but always come to this page to look for anything in New York. Yes, your kids can have a tutor. Yes, your children can receive certain things from the school district that you're in if you put in a request and people are being nice. You like the way I put that, right? If people are being nice, there's still some things that you guys can actually get. So see, like, may students instructed at home be allowed to use school facilities such as the library, career information center, and gymnasium? The answer is yes. Students may be allowed to use such facilities provided that there is mutual agreement on the part of all involved parties. So that's why I said that. For those who asked, I did see someone else talk about the vaccination requirements. If your child is home, you don't need to worry about that. However, if you are going to have them involved in some of the school activities, they can press you for it. So that is the heads up I'm giving in this video for that. So just be mindful. And again, do all of your questions pertaining to your district, because, Betty in school district A, may be willing to shed more light than Bobby in school district B. People be having the personalities, child, so just be prepared. For those with students who are receiving special education services, I am not deeply immersed into that stuff, but here's the question: may a district provide dual enrollment services under section 3602C to students instructed at home. Generally, no, except for special education services. So I believe that if your child needs certain things like speech, OT, or something like that, the school can still, the district, sorry, not the school, the district can still point you in the right direction on how to obtain those services. So, again, please double check with your specific district. But as far as for the letter, this is pretty much generic and should get you through all of the states for the most part. I'll go back to sharing the letter. I already did a video on the IHIP, so you can go back and check that. Also, I have the Ultimate Homeschool Planner, which has all of the trackers that you can even think of. And really, it was with my mindset built in New York City, because we have other things that students of ours are required more so than in upstate New York or other areas. Like our students in New York City are required to do volunteer hours and stuff, right? And so I even have a tracker for that. And the app that I'm building will have other features too. I don't want to spoil too much here on the platform just yet, but those who will be a part of our school community, which is coming very soon, will have access to that. So just trying to put all the things together that's going to help all of us homeschool moms get clarity, be confident, and of course support our children the best way that we can. So that is it, people. I don't know if I'm going to do any content before before the holiday. If I do, you'll see me. I'll just pop up. So please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Stay connected to me. Also, if you have questions, please, support at readingforsmiles.org is always the best way. You can find me through the website links and below in the description. So there is that. So on that note, everyone, please enjoy your holiday. Take care. Be safe. And I'll see you guys soon in the next video.